I started out as the rebellion turned state of Greece, and not only restored Byzantium, but we got back its historical borders, completely wiping out the Ottomans. And it was all done by quickly industrializing Greece. No cheesing like going into South Africa. And also, if you've been watching my channel for a while and you're not yet subscribed, why? Seriously, why? In 1836, Greece is really just a baby of a nation that came out of the fires of revolution, a revolution that did not get all of the Greek lands liberated, and that's exactly what we're going to be doing here. We will restore the Byzantines, grab over the Ottoman lands, the Egyptians, and all of Arabia, proper Byzantine clay, of course. That's going to be a little bit of a long journey though, so strap in, because patch 1.9 has both made Greece kind of OP, but also a bit of a tougher start since we have waited for a few patches. We didn't make this video as soon as the patch came out because I knew that it's going to be very imbalanced and it's going to be very easy to do everything with abusing the treaty system. You cannot do that anymore. There's been like 5-6 patches since 1.9 came out, and treaties have been nerfed into the ground. So how are we going to restore the Byzantines? Well, watch carefully and pray G mostly. It really is just pray G-ing here. Now, first thing we're going to do is we're going to go for romanticism, and we're going to queue up stock exchange, colonization, banking. We will, of course, also queue up line infantry and mandatory service. Reality is, though, that most of the heavy lifting is going to be done by our friends in Russia and Austria. So we're going to start improving relations with both of these nations. We also have a lot of authority, so we're going to use that to get some road maintenance, social mobility, and resource industry in our 2 starting states. There's also actually a 3rd starting state that I always forget about. We can do social mobility here, why not? I'm probably not going to build anything in there though, so I'm not going to do road maintenance. Our economy is pretty bad, so we're going to go for very low taxes, and we're going to cancel the consumption tax on tobacco because it doesn't make much of a difference anyway, really. We're also going to reform our government, get a few other interest groups in it, and as such, we're able now to go for a dedicated police force, which will help out a lot. That's also why we're going for level 3 law enforcement institution level. We have the bureaucracy available, and once we pass dedicated police force, we're not going to have the debuffs from this particular institution anymore. We have a declared interest in Italy. We're going to cancel that. We're going to get one in Arabia. So I want to make this very clear. The easiest way to snowball and get super strong, and honestly by far the meta playing as Greece, is to get an interest in South Africa, get Gaza, which is free real estate, get Transvaal, Orion, Zulu, and so on. However, I know you guys don't like that, so I'm not going to do that in this particular run. I'm not doing the Gaza strats. I'm not doing the quote-unquote cheeses, which is technically the meta for the game. I'm just going to take the harder approach, and we're going to start with our declared interest in Arabia and then move our way into Anatolia and so on. Rely on our allies early on in the campaign as much as we can until we get on our own 2 feet. Very important to note is that the Ottomans have some treaties with the Russians and with the Prussians. However, they do not have any defensive treaties with anybody. So if we're lucky, we might be able to attack them from 1837. I have, however, seen the British get a defensive alliance with the Ottomans a lot. So that is very RNG. Keep that in mind. It happens like 1 out of 4 games from what I've seen. So if it does, it's up to you. I would recommend restarting though, because it is very brutal having to fight the British Empire from day 1. Now our construction sector is going to look a little bit like this. We're going to spam a wine yard because we can make a little bit of money out of that. A couple of livestock ranches as well. And then we're going to do a tooling workshop in the Peloponnese, followed by an iron mine, so we can eventually actually industrialize this backwards agrarian society. We have some shortages, so what we can do to help with that is we can give some high subventions on import for the artillery pieces and for the man-o-wars. What this does is it basically allows our trade centers to buy these particular trade goods from the world market, where there's likely not that much available at the start of the campaign, so we make our purchases a little bit juicier by paying more than what other nations are paying to buy these goods. We also need more influence, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to get some rivals. We're going to go for the Serbians, the Wallachians, Montenegro, and that's pretty much it. We're not going to go for 2 Sicilies or the Ionian Islands, because the Ionians we want to eventually merge with. We have a journal entry that allow us to annex the Ionian Islands if we have 20 or above relations with them, and we have research nationalism, whilst the 2 Sicilies would be a pretty bad opponent if we were to fight against them in an Ottoman war, so we're going to try and avoid that. With the extra influence, we're going to improve relations with the British in the hopes that they do not get the alliance with the Ottomans. Heck, even the 2 Sicilies might as well. And we're going to start attacking the Yemeni side, which has no units at the start, so this is how we get our foothold in the Arabian Peninsula. The reason I went for very low taxation and no consumption tax is because that's the fastest way to improve your standard of living. And if we have a higher standard of living and we also have good laws and we have migration control and so on, and even decent legislation for citizenship, we might get more people to migrate to our lands. Right now, we don't have that. We have national supremacy, but that means we primarily accept Greeks, which means that Greeks in other parts of the world, cough, cough, the Ottoman Empire, might be inclined to migrate to our lands if they see it as a better option, as long as they are able to. The problem is that the Ottomans do start with some legislation that don't necessarily encourage people to migrate. Well, it prevents people from migrating. Serfdom. In the case that the Ottomans change from serfdom to a more open land reform, a lot of their Greek people are going to migrate to our lands. Now, I made sure my leader has one unit. We're going to use this unit here to invade Mara. Skibbity boo, skibbity bay. Give me that Mara, yo lippy hey. And yes, in case you're wondering, you have to say that exact phrase. Hey, look at that, boys. Consideration phase so soon. And ascent phase. Okay, this is literally meant to be right here, this legislation. So we got Yemen. Let's make sure our units are stationed in Yemen and continue the expansion into Kathiri and everything else here that doesn't have an army. What we also can do is we can teleport the units that are in the Balkans by disbanding that army, and it means it automatically heads on over to the other army that we have in Arabia. So yes, teleporting technically still is in the game. You've witnessed it here first. Probably not first though, let's be honest. Now, seeing as we do have one province within Arabia under our direct control, we can get another interest in another part of the world. I'm gonna go for Anatolia simply since that's an area that I will eventually be expanding into anyway. We can also grow our GDP a little bit more by getting a furniture manufactory, so let's go for that next too. I'm also not building any construction sectors because right now I'm basically building for free everything that I'm building. The second that I get a construction sector, it will start costing us, and it will cost us a lot. All right, we got dedicated police force. That is beautiful. And we also got Kathiri. We also have a lot of support for National Guard, so I'm going to try and pass this. This will mean we'll be able to recruit an extra battalion as conscripts, which is not much, but hey, an extra battalion is better than no battalions, right? The three easy parts of Yemen are ours. To take the Cassimids is going to be a little bit more difficult because they do actually have an army, so we're going to need to either recruit more soldiers or get some more conscripts as consequence. What I can, on the other hand, do is go for a cheeky little war against the Ottomans. We can call in the Russians if we promise to give them the province of Dobroja. I don't know why, but they always want to get this. Well, I do know why. It's because they already have a little bit of Dobroja, and that makes the AI more likely to want to get the rest of that particular province to make it whole. Once the Russians join, we're going to be able to also call in the Austrians, but I'm not sure I want that because that means we're going to use an extra couple of maneuvers to call in the Austrians, whilst we could otherwise use the maneuvers to conquer more states, like the state of Selanik, which is a huge, predominantly Greek population state. Look at that. That's an extra 200,000 Greeks that we get our hands on. And we'd even be able to get Bati Trakia, or whatever this is called in Greek. I don't actually know what it's called. Now, the most important thing is they do not back out, because if they do back out, then I only get the one state, and I am not happy with that. I actually want all three of the states. Do not back out. Frick yeah, man. They didn't back out. Okay, we got this. We got this because the Ottomans are completely shit compared to the Russian army, so we really have got this, boys. Now, for now, we're going to have to defend here. We're not going to push anything. We're going to set a objective as the main provinces here, but we'll let the Russians do most of the heavy lifting. And there you have it, boys. I was not joking when I said that the Russians are doing literally all the heavy lifting. We pretty much have the war goals now. All we have to do is just defend this area. The Russians and the Turks are fighting it out over in Kars, and the Russians are winning on that front as well. So this is basically just a slaughter fest against the Turks. We have won it. We have literally won, guys. The war support's going to start going below zero now since we have all the war goals. So we basically conquered most of modern day Greek borders, I'd say. It's not all of the modern day Greek borders, but most of them, right? We're still missing the islands and Crete, which we're going to get in the next war against either the Egyptians or the Ottomans, whoever's going to own it then. There you go. Thessaly, Macedon, and we gave Dobroja to the Russians. That is beautiful. We've literally doubled in GDP right now, and population-wise, we also pretty much doubled in population. I would love to get my hands on Constantinople, though. That is clearly my most important state. We do have 300,000 Greeks still in Constantinople, so that's going to be whenever the truce is over with the Ottomans, and we might be able to even get the Austrians whenever that happens. Now, we do have to incorporate the the northern states. For some reason, they are not incorporated. We only have the southern Thessaly as an incorporated state. We're going to do the same thing as before. On the shortages that we have, we're going to give a bit of subventions just so we have a bit more of a chance of buying this off of the world market via our trade centers. And obviously, we also want to start domestic production if we're able to. So we're going to queue up a paper mill, for example, in our capital, balance out our sheets here. And the main issue is that we don't have enough bureaucracy. So let's see what's happening with that. We could do this, filing cabinets, and that should fix most of the issues actually. And for that matter, let's change the other production methods here. We got some glass works from the provinces we conquered, so we now can change to the market square, which uses glass alongside a wood to produce more services than before. Oh, and the best part is that we have an actual army now, 26 units, mostly from the conquered areas, and we also were recruiting some soldiers during the war. Next war I'm going to do is going to be against Bahrain. Before I do that though, I want to change something out. I want to get my declared interest from Anatolia into Persia, because Bahrain actually has a little treaty port in the coastline of Persia that I would like to get my hands on. There you go. It has been activated, so now we can declare war, conquest of Bahrain, as well as conquest of Bahraini Hormuz. Make that a primary demand, because if we don't, then they will just back down and they'll remain as Bahraini Hormuz whilst we keep the island itself. Gonna make a tiny little army of 2 units with which I'm gonna be invading Bahrain now. We're doing that because we only have 2 ships and we do not want to get the penalties from attacking with more units than we have ships. Hey, we also can get the rural folk in the government. That means we probably could go for homesteading now. We actually have a big chance for it too. 16% endorsement. I like the way that sounds. Okay, naval invasion number 1 is done. Let's do the second naval invasion in their little treaty port in Persia. And there you have it, boys. We have in essence won the war. We got now a treaty port, and we also have access to Najd via the Qatari Peninsula. Now we're basically just gonna rinse and repeat when it comes to Najd. Attack them, grab all their stuff, and then work our way towards here. I'm kind of waiting on the Egyptians or the Ottomans to attack one another. That would be the primary moment for me to continue my expansion once they're both weakened as schnapps. On the last day when it's possible, add the secondary war goal for the Nejidi Hayil and make that a primary goal as well. If you do it earlier, the Egyptians or even the Ottomans might join on their side, and we don't want to have to fight that just for little old desert boy here. And we do have grassroots support for homesteading. That's actually pretty good. Oh, we also got our paper mill, so now our government administration buildings actually will have some input. Hells to the yeah, this building is super necessary. We're gonna subsidize this bad boy just because we really need that paper really badly. Remember that we got that little province in Persia. That's also why we already have an automatic declared interest, so we can return with having our OG interest in Anatolia, or we could do an interest in Bombay for reasons that you shall see in a few moments. Oh dude, we already got one setback. That is horrible. Now for the Omani war, we're applying the exact same tactics. We're waiting until the last day before we add the rest of the war goals. We're basically gonna attack all of the coastline treaty ports that the Omanis have here. It just costs maneuver for most of these, but for the one in the Trucial Coast actually does cost a little bit of infamy. This means that Oman will be reduced to their colony in Africa, which I said earlier, we're not touching. We're not doing African cheeses. We're not going into the free lands in Africa. I promised, okay? We might do that later in the campaign once we've already established ourselves as the Byzantines, just to compete with the British and so on, but we're not doing it as an early cheese. You got me, okay? My hands are tied. I'm sorry, what? We went to consideration phase? Hey, yo? Okay. All right, so this war, we should have the upper hand. I'm gonna just order an all-out assault. Hopefully we win this. We might need to back down if we fail a couple of battles though, so hopefully we don't fail a couple of battles. We're gonna be very close here, not gonna lie. They have about the same amount of units as we do. So what we got to do now is we're gonna put these guys in a separate army. Again, just 2 units should be enough. Get the general in it too, and we're gonna use these 2 units to navally invade all of these provinces here. Right now there's nobody defending these provinces, so it should be very easy to get him. Oh, actually never mind, we already have wait, so does only Oman count for the war target? I thought the little islands would count as well for the war target. I guess I was wrong. The little provinces do not count for war target. Fair enough. In that case, it means that we have won the war. We got a lot of provinces, and more importantly, we got another one of the declared interest without having to use up our declared interest, right? So now we're gonna go back, set this to Anatolia. We have all that we need. We're also gonna focus back on our economy because it seems like the Egyptians and the Ottomans are going to war. It's going, boys. It's absolutely going. Believe the British joined the side of the the Ottomans. Yes, they did. Oh, the Austrians joined the side of the Egyptians, though. Oh, this is good because this really will make the Egyptians and the Ottomans weaker. So that gives me the opportunity to attack them when they least expect it. Let's see. Our main shortages now are furniture, which we're working on. We also have clipper shortage, a little bit of paper, and a lot of wood shortage. So wood, we're definitely going to need more logging camps. We only have 2 logging camps. Let's get 1, 2, 3, 4 for now. Oh my god, the Russians sided with Egypt. Oh, this is actually going to be a bloodbath now. Oh, I'm so happy to see this. Normally, if I was to attack Jabal Shammar, either Egypt or the Ottomans would help them, but because the Egyptians and the Ottomans are at war, literally free real estate us attacking Jabal Shammar, so I'm going to massively take advantage of that. That way we got most of the Arabian free lands now. The restoration of Byzantium clearly happened in Arabia, guys, clearly. Similarly, nobody gives a schnitzel about us attacking Kassamids since they are at war with one another, so we're, of course, going to take advantage of that too, right? Now, another cool part about us having all of these provinces taken is that we have access to some resources that most Europeans don't have access, like dyes, silk, and opium, as well as tea, so we literally don't need to rely on anyone for pretty much the rest of the campaign now. Oh my god, the Ottomans are getting raffle stomped, aren't they? What's the treaty terms, actually? What would happen if the Ottomans lost? Independence for Egypt, humiliation of the Ottomans, conquest of Kars. Oh, that is really, really good. Alternatively, the Ottomans would get the Middle East back from the Egyptians. I'd rather see the Egyptians not die in this war, to be honest. I'd like to see a weak Ottoman, really. The Grand Alliance was formed. Oh my god, that sounds so grand, doesn't it? Yes, yes it does. And there you go. Most of Yemen is now ours. A juicy Sommelier. How the hell do we fail this, bro? We went to... How did we get to Ascend phase first off? What the shit is happening, man? Laws in this game are the most RNG freaking thing ever. I kind of just gave up on homesteading the second that I saw that we had like 2 setbacks on introduction or whatever the hell it was on. I was like, okay, this is not gonna pass. And I just stopped looking at it. Please don't back up. Please don't back up. Please don't back up. Please don't back up. Please, 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 please don't back up. I wanna attack you. Ooh, give me all those juicy Indian lands. Do 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 do. Industrials become part of the government. Is that actually gonna work? All right, so we're attacking Baluchistan in essence because that's gonna be a lot of opium that we're gonna be able to use to trade with the Qing, which I want to have good relations with. In fact, I'm gonna try my best to get early on relations with the Qing and use them as free money. Basically, I'm gonna set up some massive oh fracking hell, man, we failed homesteading on the Ascent phase, by the way. I'm so pissed right now. Yeah, we're gonna set up some massive trade routes going with them, so we're gonna basically be their main drug dealer. That's what I'm trying to say here. I'm gonna feed them all the opium they ever want. We seem like we're also doing pretty good with our economy, so maybe it's time for me to actually start getting construction sectors. Let's start with, say, a couple of them in our capital. Let's say 5 of them in the capital. We might do less than 5. Let's see. I'm not sure it's going to stay at 5. We following in Alexander's footsteps? Hell yeah, we are, boys. Look at that. We have all of Blabujistan. Who would have expected Greece to go into Afghanistan in 1843? Nobody. Literally nobody. Oh, that's bad. Oh, they took 1, 2, 3, 4 states, I think. Oh, this is so bad. This is actually horrible. Oh, no. So that means Egypt is still their protectorate. Oh, come on. Austria, Russia. What the hell you guys been doing, boys? Seriously. Oh, we actually have a bit of a chance to go for cultural exclusion. I mean, really a bit of a chance. That's basically 1%. I'm going to go for racial segregation because that's more likely to pass. So seeing as the Ottomans actually won the war, that's kind of really bad for us. It means that we're going to have to probably get a bigger army before we're going to be attacking the Ottomans next. We're going to have to eye up and see whenever the British are going to be at war with someone, so they're not going to help out the Ottomans. They don't have a defensive alliance, but they might be inclined to help them if they're not in their own little war. They have a domineering attitude towards us, which is why I'm saying what I'm saying, because that's bad. I'm improving relations, but domineering attitude is really difficult to take away from another nation, especially the British. They're the worst. Okay, I might not do 5. I might just do 4 construction sectors. That should be okay. I feel like we can handle 4. Okay, this actually went to Ascent phase on 22% and consideration on 22. That's kind of crazy. So let's see what our major shortages are right now. We've got wood wood predominantly as a shortage, a little bit of clippers, paper. So let's spam a few wood logging camps, I guess. Hey, that actually did pass. That's awesome. It's not going to do too much for us, though. Reality is we probably should have just gone for cultural exclusion, but I'm 100% sure that would not have passed. Let's face it. I'm going to try again homesteading, see if my copium is going to do anything for me. Oh my god, North German Federation in 1846? What? Holy schnitz. Okay, that is a very strong start for the Germans. I might have to get an alliance with them. Okay, well, we might be cooked here. We might actually be cooked. I'm gonna call in the Egyptians with the independence sway. I'm gonna call in the Russians because this might be very bad. I don't know what to add as a war goal. Maybe just Constantinople and make that a primary just in case they back down because they are fearful right now. Or grab this as well so we get the islands too. I'm gonna try and get the islands too. Please don't back out. Please, 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 please don't back out. Please don't back out. Don't you freaking back out. Okay, they didn't back out. All right, so that's 2 provinces we're getting. Unfortunately, that kind of sucks because I was hoping to grab Bulgaria as well in this war, or at least the coastline. 2 provinces is really not that much. But at least it's Constantinople, which is like 1 million population. So that's pretty good, right? What the hell is Russia doing? Are you guys not actually helping? What the hell are you doing, Russia? You still have 68 units that are not mobilized. What's wrong with you? Do something, Russia. Put your weight in here. Come on, buddy boy. He said whilst the Russians are literally doing all of the heavy lifting because my units are on defend right now. Well, on the bright side, them losing Constantinople is a pretty big blow, I guess. So next war should be even easier. And we also have the Egyptians independent. So that should really be very easy in the next war. It also pretty much guarantees that they will lose the Tanzimats. They're not going to manage to finish the Tanzimat, so they're going to be an unrecognized regional power afterwards too, which is good. And it's time to make this an incorporated state. Same for this one here. I'm going to save this up. If you guys want the save, you can find it on my Discord. Just make sure you read the rules so you get access to that part of the Discord where you can find the links. You have also another save from Italy and a few other saves from other games as well. Oh, we actually have 7 ships now. That's pretty good. I might delete the Man of Wars. I'm not gonna use Man of Wars. I'm just gonna keep the 5 frigates as enough. And let's also change the production methods too now. Now the cool part is with the Egyptians independent, we can attack them in separate wars and grab our lands from them. And by our lands, I mean all of Egypt. It's all Roman clay. I mean Byzantine clay, so it's technically ours, okay? But yeah, the problem is they have more units than us, so we're gonna have to get our economy a little bit back on track, as well as start recruiting some more soldiers. And I've also gone ahead and I've changed my Athenian construction sectors to the iron frame production method. That means we're massively starved of iron, so we're going to do high subventions on iron. Hopefully that's going to help us out a little bit, and our trade centers are going to start importing a little bit more than they currently are. We are basically doing really good with our national revenue, so hopefully that's an ascending trend. Let's pray G that we keep on growing. Oh my god, we're saved. We got atmospheric engine pumps. Hallelujah. Long live the Industrial Revolution. Wait, what? These islands are separated from us because we don't have a connection. Okay, we're literally queuing up just iron mines, logging camps, and tooling workshops right now so we can get our industry going. It is actually going pretty good. We cancel some of the construction sectors in Constantinople because we have massive issues right there. Until we get rid of the devastation and we fully incorporate this, we're gonna we're gonna need to struggle with this a little bit, but it's gonna get there eventually. So our primary states are gonna be the already established, more Greekified states that we've conquered earlier. I'm also gonna delete all of the units that we're not able to recruit for whatever reasons. So now we know exactly what we have, which is not that much actually. Guess we can start recruiting some more line infantry. We can do another 20, maybe 30 units more should be fine. Should be enough for the war with the Egyptians. Normally one of the things that you struggle a lot with as the Greeks early on is coal, but we have some coal that we can build in Bompor. However, we have 65% construction efficiency, so it genuinely is not the best of ideas. I'm going to try not to use too much coal. If I do need to use it, I'm going to attempt to import it if possible, and as a last resort build in Bompor. That's because I don't intend on keeping control over these areas. I'm going to eventually conquer the rest of Afghanistan, and I'm going to release a puppet, feed that puppet all of Afghanistan, and call it Bactria, because that's what Greeks do, okay? That's exactly what Greeks do. We restore Bactria. Okay, we're doing really good with our economy now. I feel like we can probably sustain another construction sector. We're running out of infrastructure, however, in our capital. That's a bit of an issue here. We need to get railways, and we're very far from railways, unfortunately. We're gonna need mechanized tools before we get railways, and we also probably should start building some universities because our economy actually can sustain it now. Let's say we can do 1, 2, 3, 4 universities. Once again, we have failed homesteading. I mean, we could probably just go for agrarianism. We have it as a petition anyway, so let's just do that. Ooh, looks like Kabul and Herat are at each other's throats. Well, that was very easy to pass. Now, we have a few good options here. We can go for protectionism, or we can change our government, become an unaccepted one, and as such, we can go for cultural exclusion. We can even go for an actual voting system, or try and go for freedom of conscience. I'm going to attempt this. Kind of 90% sure it's going to fail, but I'm going to attempt it because freedom of conscience is huge. Right now, we have a pretty diverse pops. We've got Baluchistani, Yemeni, Turks, and most of these pops are not Orthodox, our primary state religion. They're Sunnis, they're Shiites, and we like to give more acceptance to those pops than minus 25. 0 slightly better than minus 25 if you ask me. Another Egyptian-Ottoman war. Okay, that is a little bit surprising. And the Austrians are joining on the side of the Egyptians. Ooh, okay. Jordan, oh, okay, I see what's happening. They're fighting over the same provinces again and again. It's like a really bad version of the Matrix, like the new one that came out a couple of years ago. You know, guys, it's time for me to just chill here, enjoy my little coffee, because the Ottomans and the Mamelukes, or the Egyptians, are gonna do all the heavy lifting for me. After they're done with their little engagement, I am going to take a big chunk out of the Ottomans and possibly the Egyptians too. We're also attempting right now to pass protectionism. It would help a little bit. It's honestly better than mercantilism, but the end goal, of course, will be to try and go for free trade to get that trade advantage. In case you're wondering, yes, we in fact have failed freedom of conscience. Kind of gave up after the second setback, so I just canceled it. Oh, that is delicious. Come on, Austria, do all the heavy lifting now, boy. We got a little bit of extra bureaucracy, so we're going to use that to get level 2 education and level 3 law enforcement. I'm not even going to wait for the Austrians and the Egyptians to finish their war with the Ottomans. I'm straight up attacking them because the beloved Ruskies would like to also conquer some parts of the Ottoman Empire, namely the province of Kars, which, fun fact, is exactly where all cars originate from. I am going to make a secondary army because we're going to need to have at least 2 armies for 2 separate fronts, which means I'm going to have to recruit a second general. There we go. Assign them to the island front. And they are fearful, which is likely that they will be giving us all of our demands. That's not actually good because I would like a lot more things than just the province of Hudavendigar. We're close to the end of this particular phase, so we can now actually add more war goals. I'm going to go for Aydin, and I'm also going to go for Albania. Both of these provinces we need in order to restore the Byzantine Empire. We do have 12 maneuvers left right now, so we could say go for Kibris, which is Cyprus. I would love to go for that, but at the same time, I'm kind of worried that they're going to back up since they have Fearful. So it's a bit of a gamble. I can either do Cyprus or I can just make Aydin a primary demand. So in case they do back up, at least we get Aydin and Hudavendigar. I really didn't want to risk it, so I just made Aydin a primary demand. That way we ensure that we have the war with the Ottomans, so at least we get 3 provinces with Albania. We can get Cyprus in the next war. It's not the end of the world. In any case, the Ottomans are going to fail their Tanzimat, so they're going to be an unrecognized regional power afterwards, which means that it's going to be significantly cheaper from an infamy perspective to grab the rest of Anatolia from them too. Considering how many fronts the Ottomans have right now, I would be extremely surprised if they won any of the current wars that they have. And also reassign some units to the northern front so we make sure we grab all of our war goals. Though I believe that is all right. We got Kars, we got Aydin, we've got Hudavendigar, and we got Albania. So complete control of the war goals means that right now they're losing war support, which basically ensures that we won the war. And I think they lost the war against the Egyptians too, didn't they? Yeah, they did. I believe they did lose the war. Okay, that's awesome. So now we've got almost all the provinces we need to form Byzantium. We're just missing Skopje as well as northern trace, so the 2 Bulgarian provinces basically. Let's make sure we change all of our production methods to the most optimal ones, because we do have a lot of new provinces now. And another cool part is that we do have coal mines in Ionia, as the province of Iodine is known when conquered by the Byzantines. Also, speaking of, we need to make full cores out of all 3 of these states here. So we basically ran out of bureaucracy now. What are we doing with GDP now? Let's see. We are close to beating the Belgians, which despite having basically 1.5 states here, they are doing extremely well, as they do in pretty much every game. In my opinion, Belgium is by far one of the greatest playing toll nations. If you haven't watched my Belgium video yet, I highly recommend you check it out. It's really a very fun one. We will have to relax for a bit. We're not going to be expanding anywhere else because we have a lot of infamy, and nations are starting to cancel their treaties with us. They're a little bit upset that we have so much infamy. I'm going to start improving relations with the Germans to help out with getting an extra ally if possible, and we can get another declared interest. Of course, it's going to be North Africa, which again is rightful Byzantine clay, everybody knows. Oh, that is insane. We have more soldiers, more standing army than the Ottomans now. They have only 65 battalions and we have 66, which technically means we have a larger army than the Ottoman Empire. It's official now. We're finally also putting to use those sulfur mines in our capital, because we're using the sulfite pulping production method for the paper mills, which means we're producing a lot more paper as a consequence now. In fact, we're almost producing double the amount of paper by just inserting an extra 10 sulfur per factory. And we also can build up our first fertilizer plant in the capital, because again, fertilizer takes up sulfur, which we have in our beloved Athenian land. And we've done that because we finally managed to get soil enrichment farming, so we're basically increasing the amount of production we get out of our farms as well. And massive hallelujah, because we got railways, so we can finally start being an actual country with railways. We're gonna use these railways to max efficiency. Remember that we're not expanding too much in this campaign, right? We're just basically getting Byzantine historical land. So that means Anatolia, Balkans, the Egyptian parts, North Africa. So once that's done, we conquered, the next phase is to just play toll with what we have in those areas. And outside of those areas, we're just gonna basically be making subjects, like Bactria is gonna be a subject and so on. I know it's not gonna be called Bactria because, well, that's not an actual nation that we could release, unfortunately. Right? Let me just double check that. Could we release Bactria? No, we cannot. But I'll release whatever nation here defeated all the states, and just, in my mind, it's gonna be called Bactria. Or maybe I can just subject Herat and call it Bactria even though it's Herat, and then give it the rest of the stuff. Also, I'm pushing for cultural exclusion because, like I said earlier, we have a lot of different peoples in our country, so the more we conquer, the less Greeks we have. Right now, only 4.9 million Greeks, 3 million Turks, 1.5 Baluchis, Albanians, Yemenis, and so on, so we are outnumbered by the minorities in essence right now. Until we actually become a majority, hopefully that's going to be in the nearby future, because I would like to go for public education, which would help with the assimilation, but it's going to be a process since we got to get rid of state religion, which is a bit of a pain, and then after that we can start switching to public schools, which grants us the assimilation bonuses. Temporarily, we could also use decrees. We could do the national values decree, which increases assimilation by 100%. I'm actually not sure that's a bad idea. Yeah, you know what? Maybe I will just do that now so we can more quickly assimilate people to Greek. I'm going to start with Constantinople since the balance right now is towards Turkish more than Greek, and we want to switch it over towards Greek more than Turkish, don't we? Since this is technically our beloved capital. I'll switch the capital here once we form Byzantium. Brother, can you guys stop being at war for 5 seconds? This is how many? The 8th freaking war between the Egyptians and the Ottomans? Oh, the Germans are now involved. Oh, Germany and Austria is using this as a proxy war. Oh, this is juicy. Let me get my coffee and some popcorn. Conquer Bohemia. And they already have it. Oh, this is crazy. We're gonna see semi-super Germany, aren't we? Hey, we got water tube boiler, baby. Let's go. Huge, absolutely huge. Everybody probably already has condensed engine pump. We're so late to the industrial game, aren't we? I think what we really need though is more construction sectors. Like, we're doing pretty good now. I'm not gonna jinx it, but we are doing pretty good. So I'm gonna get a bit of a snowball on my construction sectors. We also apparently need more infrastructure infrastructure and more a lot more universities. I'm gonna spam a couple more universities around my areas. Heck, I'm even gonna do them in the recently conquered lands just because I would like all my peeps to be educado, because I also would like them to get qualifications, right? So we need to put them to work, basically. Oh god. Oh, the Germans won. Oh, they have all the states they need, don't they, in order to form Germany already? This is ridiculous. We could also get the French to help us pass cultural exclusion. There's a 90% chance of us getting it. Brother, how is this RNG possible? What? Is it just a dream, or do I actually have the possibility of forming my first company? Oh yes, baby, we're about to take over the world. Problem is that I would actually like to do this company. I wanna have steel. I want to be the biggest steel conglomerate imaginable, or the biggest tooling conglomerate, even better. This apparently is a unique Greek one, Koupas. It gives railway throughput, steel mill throughput. I want this. I actually want this. I need to have level 5 tooling workshops in Attica. What is my tooling workshops looking like? There's level 2. We need 3 more levels. We're going to push for that. Let's bring it at the top of the queue here, because we really want to get that company established. Hey, we also passed cultural exclusion without the help of the smelly French. Time for yet another Ottoman war, and boys, not only are we getting Skopje and Northern Thrace in this one, but we're getting the Wallachians independence, and we're getting the Tunisians increased in autonomy. I don't know why they didn't want independence, but hey, I'll take the increase in autonomy. It's better than nothing. We do need a third front, however, because they're also pushing into Jabal Shamar, and they have a war goal on Jabal Shamar, so we're gonna have an army just defend against the little army here. Well, we actually know we could probably push in there too, now that I think about it. We do have full manpower. They don't even have their units back to full strength, which is literally why we're gonna have a very easy time here. This is the war where most of the provinces that were formerly Byzantine come back to being Byzantine, because we also got Trebizond as one of the war goals. And the cool part about it is that despite not having any sort of Greeks left for some reason, there's like literally 52 Greeks. That's it in 1862. So this is not historically accurate, by the way. But anyway, despite that, we do have some iron mines here, which we can make use of since we're really kind of short on iron right now. So once we have these two particular provinces, we should be lowering the war support of the Ottomans significantly faster. Oh, we actually are on consideration phase with the homesteading. That's pretty cool. The one thing that's worrying me right now is that the Ottomans are in fact insanely weak. So it's possible for one of the great powers to puppet them. That would be the worst case scenario, because if they do get puppeted, then I would have to fight, I don't know, Russia or France or whoever puppets them. And hey, we got the tooling workshop. So let's go ahead and establish the company now. Forgot about that. For this company, we're going to give them investment rights, which will allow them to start constructing regional company headquarters as well as trade rights. Pretty self-explanatory. Okay, there we go. We got the lands that we needed to get. So that means we now are able to form Byzantium. We're back, boys. We're literally back. Look at the amount of claims we got now. We basically have claims all over the Byzantine areas. So it's going to be a lot less infamy in the next war against the Ottomans. One thing to note is that, remember how I mentioned earlier that we can annex the Ionian Islands via decision? Well, I'm struggling with that. They've been decreasing their relations with me significantly for the past few years. I don't think I've ever reached 20 relations. I've been trying, but I haven't. And now the English also are decreasing their relations with me. So I'm going to have to double down, and hopefully we get the 20 relations so we can annex this little island here. It's not a big deal. It's only 300,000 GDP and 170,000 population, but they're predominantly Greeks, and we just need more Greeks, to be honest. We're a little bit lacking on the Greek field right now. Oh, I love this. Looks so beautiful on the map now. All right, we're going to need to make full states out of these newly conquered areas. So that means we're going to be lacking significant amounts of bureaucracy, which means we have to just spam a buttload of government administration buildings now. Oh, we actually became a major power? No way. Holy freaking schnitzel. We're basically right up there with the Japanese shogunate when it comes to GDP, aren't we? We're about to overtake the Spaniards. We're above the Egyptians, which is good. And we just got homesteading. So we got a lot of great news in the 1860s for the nation of Byzantium. Oh, what the schnitzel. Kabul, you aggressive little schnitzeldorf. I haven't been attacking here, even though it's very easy to get all of this land because I have high infamy, right? So we're waiting for that infamy to go down before I even attack the Egyptians. We want it to be below below 50 if possible, so we can have an easier time doing treaties with other nations. That being said, from now on, it should be a lot less infamy with the claims that we have on the Ottomans, right? We also just got standardized filing cabinets, so we have 600 extra bureaucracy. That means we have a bit of an overflow of bureaucracy. So to not spend too much on goods for my government, which is the case right now, we're spending 32,000 on paper. What we can do is we can downsize a tiny bit the government administration buildings that we have, so we can check wherever we have a lot of them, like in Constantinople. Apparently we have a ton of them right now. We can get rid of some of these all the way till we reach like 50 bureaucracy or something. Should be fine then. I'm gonna try once more to sell my soul to the French here, ask them to guarantee my independence in exchange for helping me pass freedom of conscience. We got an 87% chance. If this doesn't pass, I'll be pissed. Okay, it did pass. Thank Schnitzeldorf. So now we got a bit of a bigger chance of actually getting freedom of conscience as consequence. It is absolutely painful to see this. Literally less than half of our population is on full acceptance. Majority of pops are on the first tier, violent hostility. Quite frankly, it's just bad. It's just really, really bad. We do have cultural exclusion, but that doesn't do schnitzel when most of our pops are not even remotely close to our culture, is it now? I feel like in any standard Byzantine game, this is your main problem, passing legislation that moves it way towards total separation. To be fair though, we are converting at an insane rate right now, population to our religion. We're close to having Orthodoxy as the major religion. We're losing a lot of Sunnis, but it's just overall better to switch the legislation that you never need to bother about it ever again, basically. If we look at the religious map mode right now, wow, actually surprisingly, the Ottomans managed to convert a lot of the Bulgarians and Greeks in northern Thrace to Sunni. Damn, that is, I'd never realized that they converted that many actually. Holy schnitzel. This here is the problem I was talking about earlier, boys. We do not have any charters right now for the second company, and I am definitely not going to waste any of my authority on this. Oh, hold on a second. Reforms at gunpoint passes universal suffrage, and we lose 25% civil war progress. I'm sorry, what? I'm not sure what to say about this, because universal suffrage is not too bad, but in 1860s might be an issue with it. I'll just test. I'll see what happens if we do that. This is gonna change everything, isn't it, in our country now? We need to wait for the elections now. We need to wait for the elections. When are my elections, actually? We got 159 days until the elections, and those elections are going to decide what's going to happen with our country. Please give me a government that would like to see separation of power. Please, I need freedom of conscience so badly. 30 days till election. What's going to happen? I'm scared. Somebody hold my hand. All right, let's see what happened. Okay. Hold on a second. We got contested government, but we can keep the intelligentsia and the petite bourgeoisie, so we actually can continue to pass freedom of conscience, possibly. Holy crap, man. This might have actually worked out for us pretty well. I'm gonna celebrate that by building a few more construction sectors. Hey, we're up to 22 mil GDP, boys. Not bad. We're above the Brazilians and the Japanese, right below the Austrians. We're literally about to become a great power if we push a little bit more. Oh my god, what is this? I'm having an orgasm. They got both Alsace-Lorraine and Bohemia. Oh, dude, this is the blessed Germany. We got super Germany with Austria. We got regular Germany. This is the blessed Germany. I'm telling you right now, you got Bohemia, you got Alsace. That's just blessed. That is literally just blessed. This is what Germany should have looked like, in my opinion, in the first place. Okay, I'm calling it out. I'm saying it how I think it is. It should have been like this all along. And they should have all spoken Romanian. What? Who said that? Totally not the Romanian guy. I'm also going to spam one furniture manufacturer and one textile mill in every one of my states, just because I want to give some jobs to pops. We have a lot of pops that have literally no jobs right now, and we do have shortages of textile mills and furniture manufacturers, so we might as well get that done, right? Getting these established in every single province makes it slightly cheaper for pops within those provinces to buy those particular goods, so it's kind of like a double whammy sort of good thing happening. Check it out, boys. It literally costs 4.6 infamy right now to take Konya. That's because the Ottomans have, as I said before, failed their Tanzimat, so they're not even a recognized regional power. They're an unrecognized regular power, which is just delicious. Brother, I paid like basically no infamy to grab 4 massive states. I did have to make 2 of these primary demands, otherwise they would have 100% backed down. So I'm only taking 4 states now, and I'll take the rest afterwards. It is unfortunately how you have to deal with this. If you add too many states, they back down, and you end up with just 1 state and a truce, which is not optimal. Aw, the Germans are improving relations with me. Oh, Have gotten freedom of conscience. We're the best est in the world. Let me check how many pops are now accepted a little bit more. So we got only 4 million and dropping on violent hostility tier. Everybody's moving to cultural erasure. Oh my god, thanks Schnitzeldorf. That means that we can actually start assimilating these pops. And we have a buttload of support for public schools. Holy schnitzel, man. I am in love with this already. Plus, once we get this war done, we're going to be able to connect our lands in Trebizond with the rest of the nation. So just one more war and we should have our Arabian parts connected by land as well, which means we don't need to rely on convoys whenever we're fighting around the Arabian parts anymore. Persecution of, oh no, that's not happening here, man. What are you talking about? This is totally not what we're doing here, guys. This is a peaceful empire of love and more love. That's what's happening. Now we do need to, of course, incorporado everything, and more importantly, we need to also change our production methods because we did inherit a lot of buildings now from the Ottomans, which also means that we have a lot of different shortages. Apparently some paper and some wood, which is kind of easy to deal with. We can just spam a little bit of that. But hey, since we only have 32 infamy, maybe we could be a little bit more aggressive now, and we can grab that Kabul that's apparently very green. Why is it green? Because it is a puppet of Russia. See what I mean, guys? You need to be very fast with these things because we just lost a very important part of the world, didn't we? Hello, it's me. I've been dreaming about Tunis and Tripoli for a while now. That's definitely not how the song goes, but we're gonna basically attack the North Africans now. We want to take Tripoli, we want to take Tunis, which of course was historical clay of the Byzantine Empire. I'm doing that because it's easy right now to attack the... Oh my god, is that the Romans there? No! That gives us illegitimacy. If they're called the Roman Republic, what are we supposed to be? We're the real Romans? I'm just pissed now. I'm actually pissed. I need to take the Italians out before they unify, don't I? Maybe I do have a shot. I'm not sure though. Guess I could have taken Sardinia in this war, but yeah, it would have been a little bit too much infamy though, just for little old Sardinia. Looks like Tunis is also attacking me. They're very aggressive, aren't they? Oh my god, how dare you, Tunis. Italian leadership from the Roman Republic. Oh my god, it's a war between the two Sicilies and the Romans. Who's gonna take the leadership? And everybody's joining on everybody else's side. So we got World War I because of Italy. The English on one side, the Russians and the Austrians on the other. Oh, this is gonna be a juicy, and there's one guy that's gonna profit out of this. It's me somehow. I don't know yet how, but somehow it's gonna be. I know it. I just know it. Brazil sided with the Roman Republic. Okay, can I side with anyone here? No, they don't want me around. Germany as well entered. Dude, this actually is the World War. And Spain. I am not kidding. This actually is World War I. Look at that. 1,500 against 1,100 battalions. This is ridiculous. Actually ridiculous. Know what else is ridiculous? Our legislations. Look how beautiful they are now compared to how they were a while back. We got public schools, which is huge. And actually, let me check. How many pops are we assimilating and converting right now? So we're only converting 8,000 a month. That's basically half of what we were converting before. So we are officially a Muslim majority country, despite having Orthodoxy as the primary religion. That's the downside, I guess. But we have a lot more accepted pops now. Look at this. We got nobody on violent hostility rank, 10 million on cultural erasure. So eventually we're going to convert people a lot faster. 1,400 a month is not huge, but better than zero, right? All right, let's also start our naval invasions, beginning with the Tunisians. I do expect to fail this because Piedmont is still in this particular war. So I'm just trying to drain the manpower of the Piemontese a little bit more so we can get them out of the war a bit faster here. The higher the casualties, the more war support reduction they get, and the more likely they are to peace out. Maybe I should just do a couple of naval invasions in Piedmont itself, now that I think about it. How do I have such massive shortages of wood still, man? I'm building all the wood and I still have more shortages somehow. I just realized we have good relations with the Ionians. I just need to be at peace. So when I get to peace, I can click a button and I annex the Ionian Islands. I just need not to forget about that. I'm so gonna forget about it, aren't I? We're actually doing really good with our laws too. Holy shit, we went to drafting phase with free trade already. Oh, we landed. We landed. Oh, it's so Jover. It is so freaking Jover. We freaking landed. We won the war. There we go. We're basically advancing unopposed now. So once we got Tripoli, we can push in towards Tunis too, and we don't need to give a single schnitzel about the Piemontese though. There we go. We got Tunis too. We have officially become the greatest. The greatest. I'm gonna give myself a little pep talk. There you go. There you go. Byzantine. All right, let's see what we're doing now. Close to reaching the Austrian GDP level. I like to see that. I feel like I'm forgetting something. I'm not sure what though, but yeah, let's go ahead and change our production methods since we have quite a few good buildings we got from the North African bits. We have resources actually from North Africa. Who would have thought? We seem to also be able to handle a lot more construction sectors, so we're gonna really just double down on this. Maybe we can go up to 200 construction sectors for now, should work. We are getting a little bit of turmoil in some states, so we need to start giving jobs to people, which means we need more construction sectors to more quickly build the buildings in those areas. Oh, and I remembered! We gotta annex the Ionian Islands. Oh, yes, baby. Beautiful. There you go. That is an extra 300,000 or 200,000 Greeks. Nice. You know what? We probably could do even more than 200 construction sectors. Let's do another 3 in Macedon. Holy shit, we got 26 million population. We've been growing like crazy, man. You can actually see when we started grabbing land. There's like a little upscale of population whenever we grew in provinces by conquering. All right, let's also try and go for laissez-faire. We have in the government right now the industrialists, so we have a pretty high chance of getting laissez-faire. That would be pretty huge actually if we get that done. It does mean that our reserves are going to instantly fill up, so maybe I do need to build a little bit faster. We haven't actually privatized at all, almost. Now, the problem we have with the Ottomans is that they are completely scared of us and no one's joining on their side. So that means that they will always back up in our diplomatic place. That means that whatever I want to take from them, I have to also make a primary demand. So if I go for Bulgaria, unless I make this a primary demand, when they back down, and they will 100% back down, I'm not going to have it, right? So it just means it's going to be a little bit of a slog to grab everything we need to grab from them. I'm going to prioritize the Serbian bits too, make that a primary demand as well, because if we don't take that, then the Austrians might take it or some other nation might take it, which is really not optimal. The Ottomans are basically about to collapse in a few years, and right now everyone's just attacking them left and right if they have the possibility. The Russians likely will attack them as well after this, so I'm just trying to make the most out of what's left of the Ottomans and trying to grab as much as possible before they just don't exist anymore. Like if they have a rebellion in Iraq now, that's half the country, right? If Iraq breaks away, literally half their country is gone in essence. I love how I'm literally expanding my construction sectors whilst at war, because this war is literally so insignificant for me right now. How the tables have turned. In just literally 30 years, we went from being completely scared shitless of the Ottomans to pretty much just abusing the schnitzel out of them right now. I mean, it's not even any sort of a challenge anymore, really. There you go. We got another 4 provinces. So I wager is going to be 2 more wars before I get everything though, because I will have to make primary demands out of everything that I take, right? So that's Bosnia's like 40 maneuvers with these 2 provinces, and then the rest of Iraq in one final war, and the Syrian bits, unless the Egyptians take that in the meanwhile. Now we should have a bit more Orthodox, don't we? Because these areas are predominantly Orthodox. So we have 11 million Orthodox and 15 million Sunni. It's still a lot of Sunni though, but Sunnis are decreasing by the month whilst Orthodox is going up, so that's good. I'm still not sure though if by the end of the campaign we're gonna have a majority Orthodox at this rate though. Oh wait, 41 million GDP? How we doing? We're above the French? We're about to overtake the Austrians though. Germans are up to 100 million. That is ridiculous, brother. So we might fail passing laissez-faire, but in true Roman fashion, we do not fail murdering our leadership, do we now? Apparently, we can become a parliamentary republic at the cost of Otto von Wittelsberg. I'm sorry, Otto, but the parliament wants what the parliament wants, okay? We're a Senate-abiding nation, boys. A Senate-abiding nation. That does mean now we have massive authority issues, so we're gonna have to fix that. Also gonna be increasing a little bit my government wages, and I think I'm gonna be developing a little bit my construction sectors more, because we do have a lot of potential for growth right now. So let's say get another 3 construction sectors in Constantinople, another 3 in Thrace, and another 3 in our capital, or 4 in our capital. Might be a little bit of an overkill, but I'm fairly confident that we can sustain this. And since we have a lot of extra bureaucracy too, we probably want to go for some legislation that require bureaucracy, don't we? The leader of the Agrarian Party becomes the new president now, so let's change our government a little bit more. This gives us access to more legislation, such as private health insurance, and even have the option of going back for intervention. You know what? Interventionism would be way better than agrarianism, actually. The construction queue is gonna have to have a lot more universities. Right now, universities are in massive demand, so we're gonna have some all over the Greek world predominantly, because remember, not only only do we get innovation, but you also get qualification. So I'm going to do that around the Balkans itself too, and all of Anatolia. Frack it, man. We're going to have a university in every single one of our provinces eventually. And now since we have a slightly better standard of living, our people can afford more clothes, which means we can spam some more textile and make more money in the process too. You know what? For now, I'm actually going to incorporate these two states because I don't want to have the 30% construction debuff when I'm building here from having these provinces unincorporated. Oh, this will come in handy. It's going to give us 10 extra maneuvers so we can take more lands from wars. What the hell? Belgium's... Wait a second. Wait a second. What do you mean by that flag? Are you telling me Belgium's a communist... It's a vanguard state. Dictator... What on earth is happening in Western Europe? Council Republic, communist nation in Belgium with 18 million GDP. What is this? How is this even possible, guys? What is happening here? This is one of the wackiest saves I've had in a really long time. Yay, we got interventionalism. Hells to the yes. Okay, so big issue now is we're apparently behind with our bureaucracy. Not sure how. We actually had extra bureaucracy a couple of moments ago. Oh my god, I got 80,000 pops that need jobs in Bulgaria. Let's make all of them lumberjacks. Now, boys, our cultural makeup looks a little bit like this. Now we have 10 million pops in full acceptance, 2.5 second class, and then the rest lower levels. That's because we have 10 million Turks, 8 million Greeks, and we're gaining a 2.5 roughly 1,000 Greeks a month, whilst Turks are going down, but at a very slow pace. Everybody's going down at a very slow pace. So simulation wise, the only way we can fix that is getting higher levels of education. That's kind of the only thing we really can do. I feel like they should really buff it so that pops get converted to your particular culture a little bit faster. Not only does it help with making the game actually smoother, right? Because the faster you simulate pops to your culture, the less lag you have in the later part of the campaign. But it's also like a nice little thing to do, in my opinion. They should make it 5 times stronger than it is right now, in my opinion. Well, Ottomans, I am once again asking for all your provinces. And now I actually have a few extra maneuvers, so I could probably get most of your provinces, actually. We can take Bosnia back, the last holding they have in the Balkans. So then they got 1, 2, 3. No, we need 2 wars. Yeah, we need at least 1 war for Iraq itself, unless we liberate Iraq in this war and we just puppet them. That could work too. We do need to make sure that these are primary demands, however, before we do anything else, because they might back down. I also would really love to get my hands on Mosul. Liberating Iraq would liberate Mosul. Oh, it's 30 maneuvers. We have 29, so we cannot do it anymore. Oh well. Maybe I can get Deir ez-Zor first, so I can connect my lands. Mosul is the better province though, more population, and more importantly, it has 36 sulfur mines. But the other province is just better for connecting my provinces. It's a tough one. I'm gonna go for Mosul. This right here is the actual definition of free real estate. This is what the meme is about. Us taking all these lands from the Ottomans is literally what this is about. The meme is about. Now, don't get me wrong, guys. Taking all these lands from the Ottomans, basically wiping them off from the face of the planet here, restoring Byzantium. This is just the first part, right? Because reality is, after we get all the provinces we need for historical Byzantine borders, the struggle begins then. Since we have to convert everybody, we have to assimilate everybody, we have to make sure nobody's rebellious. So we need to change our laws, and we need to make sure that we build within those borders the strongest nation imaginable, right? Speaking of, I think it's time we start going for colonial exploitation now, because well, we have the options, right? Surprisingly, nobody attacked Gaza and everything, so let's see what happens. I'm not gonna attack the South African parts until I get my Byzantine borders. That means the Egyptian bits and stuff too, so that way it's fair in a way, right? That way people cannot just say, oh, Ludi, you did attack Gaza eventually. Well, it matters at the start of the campaign. At this point in the campaign, it genuinely doesn't make any difference if I attack it anymore. But yeah, I will attack it a little bit later, maybe in the next part of this. Also, innovation wise, we're a little bit behind everyone. We have 120 innovation. We're capped out here because of our literacy, so we gotta make up for it. I'm actually thinking of forming my power block, which is going to be named the True Roman Empire. There you go. There's no other empire except for us. Classic Trade League, or hear me out, religious convocation. Why are we going to religious convocation? For a couple of reasons. First off, we like that birth rate. 5% birth rate is huge. Then the conversion rate is huge too, because we need to convert people to orthodoxy, right? There are some bad downsides to this too, but overall, I kind of really like the power block, the religious convocation, and this patch. Check this out here. We get trade advantage with co-religionists, as well as income transfer from heathen subjects. So if we were to make all the rest of the borders that we have in mind subjects, not directly owned, we would get a buttload of money from them. 50% is ridiculous, by the way. Alternatively, sacred civics allow us to reduce liberty desire for same religion members, as well as we can impose the church and state law that we have on block members. I'm gonna go for the divine economics. Let's go for that. Divine economics is the most keck thing ever. Let's go ahead and form it. Boom shakalaka don'ts. We got just ourselves in here for now. We're gonna get better. Don't worry. It's gonna get different. It's gonna be the best power block ever. Now, if we want to increase our cohesion, we have to get the Orthodox Church in government and get them a little bit more powerful. So that kind of sucks a little bit, but yeah, I mean, it's better than nothing, right? Check it out. We're making big progress here. We're getting 12.2 thousand people converted to Orthodoxy as consequence now, which is a big deal. It's also standardize again the production methods, and we also need to make sure that we integrate those newly conquered provinces. Oh boys, check out our power block statue, plus 25% conversion. We're building this all around the majority Muslim areas. I mean, all around, because that's going to be a huge means of converting everybody to Orthodoxy. I'm actually hopeful now with all the buffs that we're getting that we're going to be able to convert all of the Islamic world to Orthodoxy by the end of the campaign. That's going to be the main goal for the second part of this campaign as Byzantium, because yes, if we do get the 5,000 like goal, I will be doing a second part where we go all the way to 1936, just because I want to see how much GDP I can actually get as the Byzantines with the historical Byzantine borders, right? Now we do have skirmishers. Do we have the ability to make use of these skirmishers though? Does that mean we have munitions plants? We do. So upgrade all of these bad boys to skirmishers, because we're gonna have to fight some big boys soon. We're gonna have to fight, I believe, the Russians, which are supporting the Serbians, and I want to attack the Serbians with the return state CB against them, which makes it basically little to no infamy for me in essence. For that matter, I also want to attack Montenegro, which I believe nobody gives a schnitzel about. I'm also going to try and rush a little bit for civilizing mission, which will allow me to get less infamy when attacking unrecognized powers, because I do have quite a few of them that I have my eyes on. Follow that up with mutual funds, steel frame, and whatever the schnitzel afterwards, doesn't really matter anymore. Next big war is the Mamluk War. We're going to be finally taking the last Greek holding that is not ours, Crete, and we're also going to be taking some parts of the Middle East itself. I would love to actually directly own the Hejaz, but I'm going to prioritize the rich areas in the North Egyptian parts, as well as I'll take a little bit of Hejaz. I'll take Yemeni Hejaz because we already have the rest of Yemen, right? So this deal here looks pretty decent to me. Now, problem is they are pretty strong. So we're going to have to defend front until we get some conscripts. Basically, I'm going to be conscripting from all the non-Greek areas in the hopes that, we lower the population in those lands a little bit for no reason whatsoever. 92 conscripts in this army is pretty freaking decent, I'd say. Now, let's make sure we upgrade this general here. Boom. And let's also make sure we push in for our war goals, actually, so we can do with this army here strategic objective in Syria for now. Okay, we got 2 of the war goals for us here, and our armies that are basically just full-on conscripts are holding off the main brunt of the Egyptian attack in Libya. Look at how cool that is, actually, when you look at the map itself. You see some really awesome Byzantine uniforms fighting off against the Egyptian uniforms. See, this is the beauty about having sprites in a video game, right? That's something that should have been in the game from day one, in my opinion, and I'm glad that they added it eventually. Hopefully, we get to see more stuff like this. Maybe actually the ability to move these sprites on the map itself would be pretty cool. All right, now that we got all the war goals in the east, we can focus on pushing now into the Egyptian areas, and it's over. We got their capital of Lower Egypt. Now their war support's gonna go below 100. So boom shakalakas, we got half of the Mediterranean under our control. This is beautiful. After so many years, we're finally back, boys. Oh wait, what? We also get the Veiled Protectorate? Holy mother. So I guess we can maybe just make the rest of the Egyptians our subjects after. Maybe we'll just take the rich northern parts, these 3 states, and the rest of basically what's gonna become Sudan is just going to be named Egypt and remain as our subject. That would be fair, because that would not be within the Byzantine borders, would it now? Holy schnitzel, we're up to 19,000 pops getting converted a month, and we haven't even finished building all of our power block statues. Oh, what was that, guys? Yeah, that's right. It's time to bully the Ottomans once more. Also, we have grown significantly above the Russians when it comes to GDP too, and population-wise, we're not doing too bad. We're right behind the Austrians, and we're gonna get above them once we get the rest of the Egyptians, because Middle Egypt alone is 2 million, another 2 million, and Upper Egypt, that's basically an extra 5 we're gonna get from that, alongside whatever we're getting from the Ottomans. I kind of expected this to happen. Yeah, that's gonna be a recurrent theme here. So because they're not getting any help, they're just basically giving up every single time, which means we couldn't get Lebanon in this war. We're gonna have to get that in the next and probably final war against them, because it's gonna be only 4 provinces left, so it should be okay. I love the fact that we also basically have no consumption taxes except services, which we could technically cancel. Yeah, maybe I'm gonna cancel that. In exchange, I'm gonna get a couple more decrees for promoting national values. Why the hell not? That increases conversion as well by 100%. Want to see my coffers go up? Check this out, boys. We're gonna be privatizing, and we're gonna get filthy rich as consequence. So we're gonna be doubling down on our construction sectors with the money we're getting from selling off our buildings. Sheesh, brother, 9 million gold reserves already. That is insane. It also means we need a lot more construction sectors now. Oh, this here is wild, boys. Check it out. We got 25% enactment chance for multiculturalism. So if we manage to pass this, it's gonna completely change the game for us. We also managed to grab what was left of Montenegro and Serbia. So now we don't need to worry about the Balkans. We just got to focus on what's left of the Ottomans. Let's also check our religion. So we're getting 30,000 pops converted a month. That is insane, dude. Actually insane. Ding dong, Ottomans. It's me, Luigi. I'm actually not Luigi. I'm Basilius. Okay, it's Basilius all along. There you go. We can go for the full annexation because we have primary demands out of all the targets, so they literally cannot back out of this. Seeing as steel is also massively important right now, we're gonna spam a lot of steel factories because we're gonna start changing over to the steel frame production methods, our construction sectors. Same thing here. We're gonna need a lot more glassworks as consequence. Oh, Byzantine infamy decreases by 10. Will the Japanese love us? Will they love us? It did not decrease by 10. They did not love us. God damn it. And we failed this already once. Come on, guys. I guess the only joy I have is when I get to Schnitzeldorf all over the Ottomans. So I'm gonna go for very low taxation level. Bro, second setback. Okay, I'm getting the vibe that this is a waste of time and I'm not gonna pass multiculturalism, am I? Byzantium rules the Middle East. No more Ottomans. And now my eyes are set on the Egyptians because the truce is over. The Egyptians are fearful of us, so there is a chance that they might back down, but we did make all of the provinces we're interested in primary war demands. So here's a couple of issues. First off, I have got colonization, right? But there's nothing to colonize because the Germans went colonial and I've gotten to the colonial game very, very late, and as a consequence of me getting very late to the colonial game, I do not have anything to colonize, quite literally. Oh wait, no, I can colonize Tibesti. Okay, my bad. Oh, and we can do Oceania. Okay, that's fine. These islands are pretty much useless though. I kind of was hoping to get some parts of Africa, but yeah, there's literally not a single piece of the coastline of Africa that is not yet a part of either the British Empire, the French, or the Germans. Oh, Congo is not taken by anyone, nor are the South African nations. I mean, I guess it's not a cheese anymore because at this point in the campaign, it's basically just, you know, useless. That land's not going to be as helpful as it would have been early in the campaign. All right, we also managed to finish our war, so now we are looking juicy. I also want to get some Persian provinces. Not too much. It's just, I was thinking of making them a protectorate, but honestly, I'm just now thinking about just getting the Hormuzian Straits, which is like 5 infamy Crimea and a little bit of here and there. Not too much, just connect our lands to the Baluchistan areas. I'm also curious to see what the religious map mode's looking like now. So religious overview. Oh, look at that. We have started massively re-orthodoxizing. Is that even a word? Probably not. But we're making the Anatolian Peninsula Orthodox again, slowly but surely. Look at that. 1.5 million Orthodox in this area, 1.8 million in here. Of course, they're mostly Turks still, but they're Orthodox Turks. Albania surprisingly still has a massive amount of Sunnis. Holy shit, man. They barely got any Orthodox. 300,000. Same for Bosnia and South Serbia. Yeah, I might have to use the decrees in this area then. I did give consumption tax. I'm going to cancel it again and increase this to very high so we get maybe 2 decrees possibly. Nope, I don't think we can squeeze 2 in. Nope, cannot. That's the downside of being a parliamentary nation. We basically have no authority now. We actually managed to get the trade unions in our government now, so we might actually be able to pass multiculturalism next attempt. Until that though, we have 57% endorsement for a compulsory primary education. I've also gone ahead and switched all of my construction sectors to the steel frame production method, which means I'm gonna have to start privatizing buildings again. I stopped there for a while, but now the steel mills alone are gonna probably fill my coffers in a second. Let's also make sure we go to level 5 with our educational institution for the extra assimilation bonus, and say hello to our third and newest company, the Byzantine Steel Syndicate, or as I like to call it, the Byzantine Steel Syndicate. It's the differences in the fine print. I have a question. Do these actually do anything? Like, actually, does this really convert people? Because if I'm not mistaken, there were 288,000 Orthodox people in Albania, and now there's less of them. So what the fuck happened here? Okay, I have the freaking... Am I wasting this? Should I just put all of these into consumption taxes or some schnitzel? Hey, we are picking up with the Greek population though. 6,000 a month is way better now. And we're up to 43,000 a month for Orthodoxy. Okay, that is pretty good too. And it's time that we connect our borders. All right, boys, so the culmination of all of our efforts ended up with this. The proper Byzantine Empire borders. Now, I'll be honest, I'm a little bit disappointed with myself. I only got 200 mil GDP. I could have done significantly better. I literally got 5 times more than that as a one province state. Well, actually, I got 200 something. I don't remember how much did I get in my Texas run as only Texas. So I genuinely didn't really min-max the states. I didn't really properly double down on stuff. I'll be honest, most of the game I was just paying more attention to when I have an opportunity to attack a nation, when I don't have an opportunity to attack a nation. We did get significant income. We got quite a lot of population, and my favorite part is this. We go over to cultures because we managed to eventually pass multiculturalism. We're also now making 13,000 Greeks a month, and this is growing actually because we just passed multiculturalism. So reality is that if I was to play this like very meta and stuff, I would just rush for multiculturalism ASAP. So probably wouldn't focus on expansion as much as I did, and focus on getting the lands, waiting for the proper diplomatic play, waiting for everybody to be busy or not to join on the enemy side. That would not be my main focus, right? I'd probably focus on legislation and industry a lot more in a proper playthrough. Was actually thinking of doing a proper one on stream. If you guys are up for that, let me know in the comment section. Actually, I'd love to do a good run as the Byzantines where we'd also do a proper economy, not just good when it comes to expansion. Religious map mode is a little bit juicier though. We actually managed to get Orthodox majority in Hail because there's very few pops in Hail, as you would imagine, while some areas like the last stuff that we conquered have basically no Orthodox in the Persian bits. We did get most of Anatolia with some Orthodox. There you go, 600,000. How many in Kastamonu? Kastamonu's got about 400,000, and then we have a significant majority in Ionia and Bithynia, both of which have above 1.5 million Orthodox. All of the Balkans, with the exception of Bosnia and Albania, are Orthodox, and Albania actually is getting Orthodoxy increased now, so they went up by a good 50,000 in the past 5 years or something. We managed to achieve what we set off to do. We got the Byzantine historical borders back, and we've re-established ourselves as a great power from just a tiny little agrarian Greece. If you want to see this continued, let me know in the comment section, and make sure to leave a like. Until the next time, love you all, take care of yourself.